Good morning and welcome. Welcome old friends and new. Welcome first-time visitors wherever you are on your spiritual journey. A warm welcome to visitors from the Foothills congregation in Colorado. So glad that you came to join us here today. Welcome to First Unitarian. My name is Catherine Fernside, and I'm one of the worship coordinators here at First Unitarian. I am happy to be joined today by worship leader and worship coordinator Kristen Satterley, worship coordinator and DJ Arnie Gullerud, ushers Cy Schuster and Michaela Renz-Whitmore, and our technical arts director, Chris Paul. Music today comes from Woody Woodstra, Sue Spavin, Gabriel Longinos, Sharon Stepler, Randy Granger, and our music director, Susan Peck. I am especially joyful to welcome our ministerial guest today, Beth Elliott. Many of you know Beth, First Unitarian's former member director. She is now in seminary at Iliff in Colorado. Welcome, Beth. Today, you are joining us for a very special lay-led service. For a handful of years, the worship coordinators, a group of members of the church who organize worships when the ministers aren't around or need a break, we've put together the service between Christmas and New Year's over the past handful of years. This allows our ministers to catch their breath after the busiest season of their year, and it lets the worship coordinators try out some new things. So you're here to join us for trying some new things out. You may remember last year or years before at this service between Christmas and New Year's, participating in worship stations around the sanctuary building. Last year, you may remember contemplating in quiet communal art making and meditation the theme of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Some of you walked the path in our wilderness area, contemplating the weight of a stone that you carried in your hands. You then colored in a phoenix at our creation station, took some words from our affirmation station, and then burned all of that at our fire pit in the courtyard, which last year we called our conflagration station. Some of you may have sat in the sanctuary and listened to 15 minutes of music, letting the winter quiet settle around you. This year, we are taking this non-traditional worship format online. This is a big experiment, like so many things have been in this past year. We hope to capture a similar spirit of simply being with others, sharing some quiet, reflective time on these coldest days of the year as we move from 2020 to 2021. This year's theme is inside the chrysalis. Chrysalis. Let that word roll around in your mouth a few times. It's such a mysterious word, appropriate for the mysterious and magical state in which a caterpillar, after eating and eating, wraps itself up in a cocoon and dissolves. Within a week or two, the caterpillar has transformed, gone through an entire metamorphosis and become a butterfly. Today, we invite you to contemplate what it might mean to be in that ultimate state of in-between, that mysterious space inside a chrysalis. As you begin your contemplation of this idea, Kristen has some announcements for us.
Good morning. First, I'd like to let you know our closed captioning service is not available today. We apologize for any inconvenience and are working hard to bring it to you in the future. If you haven't already, now is the time to gather materials for the creating and journaling worship stations, paper, writing utensils, and coloring supplies, or other art supplies if you prefer. If you plan to use some of your worship station time to color and would like to use the printable chalice coloring page in the video, The URL is in the chat bar and there is still time to print it out. Do you have a favorite local nonprofit organization? Change for the Future gives designated funds from the weekly offering to a different nonprofit each quarter. To apply for 2021, a representative from the prospective organization must fill out the online form on our website by December 31st. Check the chat bar for the URL. And now, if you have a chalice or candle, I invite you to light it with me. We light this chalice on the shorelines of life, gathered as one at thresholds unknown, surrendering to the mystery and blessing that surely awaits as we dispel fear and call forth love, light, and peace, crossing over the threshold together as one. The words of Reverend L.A. McRae. And that's not going to work.
Hi, I'm Isla Rose. Please join me in the children's affirmation. We are Unitarian Universalists. We are people of faith with open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Okay, let's see. Brother's gonna read to us, Connell. Connell, we'll read that one next, okay?
Okay.
Let's sit with brother, please.
Yes, it is the Very Hunter Caterpillar.
Okay.
Okay. So, is this page 1? You got it. Ready?
This is page 1.
Go ahead.
In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and popped out of the egg came tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through 1 apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a tummy ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. That's the end.
Let us pause the chat for a few moments during the meditation and prayer. I invite you to join me as we transition into a meditative space. Just like the caterpillar, find your spot to create your own brief chrysalis. Settle comfortably in your seat, or perhaps ground your body to the floor. Take a few settling breaths. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Settle into your skin, this space, and this moment of change. Breathe out a little tension. Feel your skin, your bones, your muscles. Breathe again. Locate your heartbeat. If you feel so moved, place your physical or spiritual hands over your heart. Now imagine your heart. See it there, feel it there, doing its life-giving work. Now imagine with each beat, threads, just like a caterpillar spins silk threads around itself when creating a chrysalis. Your heart is pouring out threads of love. Feel these threads wrap around you. Feel the shell of love forming. And as you breathe this cocoon of love into existence, perhaps allow your arms to embrace yourself as you are comfortable or able, becoming part of the hug of this chrysalis. And let this cocoon hold you as we breathe and continue for 2 minutes of silence.
When we share our joys and concerns, our happiness is multiplied and our burdens are lessened. When the video begins, share your joys and concerns in the chat bar that we may hold them together. If you're not able to write in the chat bar, we'd still love to know what's on your heart. Send an email to caring@uuabq.org and let us know how you're doing. Let's share our joys and concerns now.
We lift up these blessings and concerns and all those impacted by them. And we take a moment to recognize these community members as well. Kathy Peterson, who attends from Illinois, whose husband Richard died on December 23rd. Our beloved Janelle Campbell, who passed away on Christmas Eve. We celebrate with Maya Stevenson, who achieved her EMS professional certification at the paramedic level. We also hold Dustin Higg, who is scheduled to be executed on January 15th, and all those who have been executed or who are now living on death row. Additionally, we hold the 332,000 people who have died from COVID and hold all who love them. We hold everyone in love. Please join me in prayer, in whatever form that takes for you. Spirit of life, extravagant love, source of healing and renewal, mystery, that which we call by many names. We take a moment to remember that we are not separate things, but part of a whole. We call for the strength, courage, and inspiration to freely accept our responsibility for being love. As we enter into a season of moving towards more light, as each day we gain a few more precious moments of daylight, we acknowledge that each part of the cycle is necessary and celebrate the light even as we honor the dark. For we know that there can be laughter through tears. There can be moments of joy even in midst of catastrophe. And while we never lose our grief, we know that it is not always so heavy. We hold that even in the darkest times, we can choose to be a light. We embrace that we may not even recognize the necessity of the chrysalis until we begin to unfurl new, beautiful wings. And we remember that if we were to peek inside a caterpillar's chrysalis during its transformation, it may not look so pretty. It would be an amorphous mess, as we would only see the results of the enzymes dissolving its tissues to make possible the new. We honor the messiness of transformation. As we have been cocooned in our spaces this year, it does not matter what the transformation looks like. Messy homes, changed bodies, topsy-turvy thoughts, wounded hearts. These are all just the goop of transformation. All the same beautiful parts of a butterfly in a different stage. Folks, and blessed be. Peace be with you.
Kole baje,
Chrysalis Diary
by Paul Fleischman.
November 13.
Cold told me to fasten my feet to this branch,
To dangle upside down from my perch,
to shed my skin,
to cease being a caterpillar,
and I have obeyed. December 6.
Green
The color of leaves and life
has vanished. The empire of leaves
Lies in ruins. I study the brown new world around me.
I fear the future.
I hear few sounds.
Have any others of my kind survived this cataclysm?
Swinging back and forth in the wind, I feel immeasurably alone.
January 4.
I can make out snow falling.
For 5 days and nights it's been drifting down.
I find I never tire of watching the flakes in their multitudes passing by my window.
The world is now white.
Astounding. I enter these wondrous events in my chronicle.
Knowing no reader would believe me.
February 12th.
An ice storm last night.
Unable to see out at all this morning.
Yet I hear boughs cracking.
And branches falling.
Hungry for sounds in this silent world, I cherish these.
Ponder their import.
Miser them away in my memory and wait for more. March 28.
I wonder whether I am the same being who started this diary.
I've felt stormy inside.
Like the weather without.
My mouth is reshaping.
My legs are dissolving.
Wings are growing.
My body's not mine. This morning, a breeze from the south, strangely fragrant.
A red-winged blackbird's call in the distance.
A faint glimpse of green in the branches.
And now I recall that last night I dreamt of flying.
We are excited now to invite you to participate in our annual New Year's worship stations, reimagined for Zoom. Instead of moving from room to room in the sanctuary, you'll choose a meditative activity or multiple activities to do along with the video. Our DJ, Arnie Gullarud, will explain.
Welcome to 2020's New Year's Service Virtual Worship Stations. Our theme this year is Inside the Chrysalis, which asks us to dream about how we wish to transform in this coming time, as if we are caterpillars in our cocoons, preparing to emerge into a new day. Take 16 minutes or so to do as many or as few of the stations as you like, or just spend this time listening to the music and contemplation. Our 5 stations are moving, creating, affirming, cleansing, and journaling. Over the next 16 minutes, we'll show short videos reminding you of the stations and helping set the scene for your activities. We'll explain each of these briefly before starting. In the moving worship station, you can choose to spend time in moving meditation, contemplating your path of transformation in the months ahead. You can move around your home or outside, or even just visualize a path of your own choosing. In the creating worship station, you can choose to spend time coloring or drawing or in other creative pursuits, thinking and reflecting on what it is you want to become. You can use the coloring page we shared in the chat beforehand, or whatever you happen to have on hand. In the affirming worship station, you can choose to spend time respectfully sharing in the chat box thoughts to help all of us along our paths of transformation, and reading what others have to share on the topic. In the cleansing worship station, we'll have our virtual fire pit. Think about things you need to let go of to facilitate your transformation. Think about what these items are, and when the video of the fire pit comes up, imagine casting them into the flames, freeing yourself of their weight. Finally, in the journaling worship station, you can choose to spend time journaling about your journey. Think about the need for love of self and others to make changes, of the courage it takes for the road ahead, of the peace that comes with slow transformation, and the beauty that lies ahead. Now, let us begin.
under the sky, how Jesus the Savior did come for to die for poor unrepentant people like you and like I. And I wonder, as I wonder, out under the sky. When Mary birthed Jesus, 'twas in a cow stall, with wise men and farmers and shepherds and all. But high from God's heaven a star's light did fall, and the promise of ages it then did recall.
Thank you all for taking that journey with us. Our Change for the Future recipient this quarter is SAGE. SAGE provides support for older LGBT people in the Albuquerque metropolitan area through advocacy, social programs, education, support groups, and resource distribution. They counter isolation, fear, and loneliness by creating a caring community of LGBT elders who will look out for each other. You can make an offering online by clicking on the link that we'll put in the chat box. And if you prefer not to give online, you can always simply mail a check to the church. Recently, we asked folks during worship to share one word for the coming year. Our Tech Arts Director, Chris Paul, has formed these into a beautiful dove meditation that will be, for the rest of the holiday season. I think this is the last time, so enjoy it. Let us now exercise the enduring power of generosity. What is generously given is received with gratitude. Thank you on behalf of the Church and of SAGE. We are approaching the end of today's service. If you'd like to stay for small group community time, just stay on this call and we'll connect you to a breakout room. As you carry this meditative time forward into your day, be it in breakout rooms, with your family, or in private musing, you may want to consider these questions. How are you transforming in this time of waiting? What do you hope to become?
We leave this gathered community. We don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Until we are together again, friends, be strong, be well, be true, be loving.